It's Chemdork.
Hello everyone, this is Chemdork, and welcome to episode number 40 of season number 2 of my Buildcraft, where we play Minecraft with the mods Buildcraft, Thermal Expansion, and Forestry installed. So guys, guess what we're doing? We are riding in a minecart. This is something that we barely ever do, and from now on we're actually going to do it a lot, or at least I'm going to do it a lot, because I'm going to have a minecart system that allows me to travel between my bases. How cool is that? Very cool. So last episode we actually set up the station, or at least basically the station, and this episode we're going to be kind of putting the system all together. So as you can see, I have been excavating and building tracks, and now we have a 4 reels track system, so that it's functional to some extent, but what it lacks is 2 key important features that will be built in, one today and one at a later date. The one that'll be built in at a later date is what the reason for this hole is up here, which is, oh, where's my cart? I guess it went into the hopper. Anyways, which is basically the minecart return system. So I have a hopper underneath this track, which will be involved in that, and yeah. So it'll be that will be worked out later date, but for now I just manually have to put the carts up there. It's not really a big deal. But what's the second aspect that we need to figure out, and that'll be done today, is the track junction selector. So that means what to do and how to automate the switching of one of these puppies. And this puppy is not actually a puppy, it's a track junction. So it's a place where minecarts come in and then they have to decide whether to go left or right. Right now, the way it's set up, minecart coming in this way would be heading towards this direction, which is the pyramid base, which is where we came from in the opening. And oh, by the way, I set up minecart stations at both the pyramid base and the forest base. We'll be checking them out in the episode in a little later. Or I should say, a little bit later. But anyway, so by default this is going to the left, which is fine if I want to select and go to the pyramid base. However, if I want to go to the forest base, I have to switch this junction. And, you know, I can actually go down here, switch it with a lever, go back, grab a cart, and kind of head on my merry way. And that's not really a big deal. The problem comes in when I am at the forest base and I want to head back to the main base. I want this to actually switch, but in order to do so, I can't switch it from the forest base unless I have some way of long-range redstone signaling, which, if you recall, a few episodes back, we kind of figured out how we're going to do it with Tesseract. So we're going to be doing that this episode. And basically, just to go over how the cart system works again, I push a button, and the stuff in the back here is going to decide which track junctions will be switched and which ones will remain at their default setting. And then it'll also drop a minecart, and I push this button to go. And that button switches this track to go so that the cart can go out. The cart passes over this detector rail, which switches it back to this default setting so that any other minecarts coming in will be going to the left. And that's how it'll work. So likewise, that's what these things are here for. So first of all, let's just set up these detector rails to switch this track junction back to default, because remember, this cart system is running on the idea that we send a signal to a junction if we want it to switch. Otherwise, we need it to be in the default. So that means we have to automatically and make sure that we always have this back in the default setting ready to go. And in order to do that, we're going to set up detector rails when you that you go over every time you enter into or out of the junction. You'll notice, though, if a minecart comes through here, hits this detector rail, it'll switch it to the default setting. But if we want it to be in the not default setting, that's going to be a problem. So how do we get around that? Well, we're gonna institute some timing feature here. So we're going to delay this before it sends a pulse. So first of all, let me just show you where it's going on here. So down here we have the area where basically we're going to have our circuitry. I dug down even farther just to make sure that these levers don't really interfere with the circuitry. It still might. I think we might actually have to go down one more block, but that's okay. But anyway, so I'm gonna kind of set up some of the system. I'm gonna actually set up a switch or a circuit down here. You're gonna notice it instantly in terms of what it is, hopefully, and I'll be right back. So see you in a second. Okay, Junction, we are ready to do stuff to you. Yeah, that doesn't sound right. But anyway, let's put in some circuitry. So you'll notice down here I've extended this down, yes, a block further down, just so we don't have interference from the booster levers up top there. These are for the, remember, these are for the those powered rail tracks. And right here, this block, and this block, I should actually put some redstone over top of them. These are where the detector rails are. So we want them to be hooked up so that it switches this track back to default. So in order to do that, we are going to put in the circuit. And the circuit is, by now you guys should know, one of my favorite circuits ever. And it's called an RS NOR latch. It's a favorite circuit ever just because it's so darn useful, and it's basically the only circuit I ever use. Right now this is switched in a, yeah, let's call this a default setting. I think this is default. Wait, hold on, let me see. Whatever, this is default. Yeah, okay, it is switched that way. Alright, good. So it's defaultly going, defaultly? Yeah, sure. Going toward the pyramid. So basically what we need to do is hook up these, and I want to hook them up all together so that they, yeah, so that they all hook up together and they all combine together before being delayed. So hopefully that'll work. You'll see what I mean. So I'm hooking them up together now. Oops, yep, there you go. Okay, so when I go over any one of these torches will, one of these torches will go on in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And basically now they are hooked together. So they will all be together, and it might be as simple as doing this. We just want to delay the signal. That's all we want to do. And it needs to be long enough delay so that it switches this side of the circuit on after the minecart passes over. So in order to test that out, we will test that out. So let's see what happens here. Alright, so I'm going to set this to go... Actually, I'm going to switch this. I need to switch it down here first. In order to do that, we just do this. Yeah, so this is our RS NOR latch. One side of it is always on. So right now I turn the side on over here, which should now switch our track. Yep, and so now it's going toward the forest base. So now I will have a minecart go over, and we'll see if it goes this way. If it goes this way, that means the timing isn't right. So hopefully it'll be all good. Okay, so you'll see this in action if you haven't already. So I push a button, a cart falls, and we're not going to get in it, we're just going to see what happens. Okay, so it should go to the right. Yes, it does, and the switch happens after it passes over. That's awesome. Good, good, good. Alright, so that's actually be enough. I kind of want to put a longer delay in there just to be on the safe side. I want to, but I don't think it's going to be feasible to do that. Not without some difficulty. No, we can probably... You know what? No, we can do that. We can do that. We can do this. Hold on. If we extend this over here instead, and then this should give us enough room to put in a little bit of a... no... I basically want to just extend this by 1, and that's it. We need to hook up these together. Ah, perfect. Alright, that should do it. Yeah, so that should work. Just as long as this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, good. That should actually work fine. So that'll delay it by quite a good amount. If I do this again... Alright, let's just get rid of that. Alright, come on, come on, come on. Alright, so we'll do this again. It's now switched to go to the forest base. Let's try it again. Alright, so this is the first step. It's pretty working well. Okay, it should go to the right, and it should switch thereafter at some point. Perfect. Okay, that's good, because it waits a pretty long time before switching back to default. But that's perfect. Great. Okay, so now that we have that set up, it's time to hook up the switching, which I'm doing manually now, up to it. And we can do that through Tesseracts, which is what we are going to do for the other bases, those two. But for this base, since it's so close, I actually am not going to use a Tesseract to connect this base to track junction number 1. This base will have a Tesseract that goes into track junction number 2, but, well, we don't need that right now. Alright, so but before I do that, I actually want to show you the other bases. So let's honestly just go to the forest base. And, well, I'll meet you there. I'll go there, and I'll meet you there. All right, so I'll see you. Oh, wait, I have to switch it back down there. Okay, so I'll meet you there. I'll meet you at the forest base, and see you in a second. Well, here we are in Chemdork Gardens, the forest base. You might be seeing something over there, and that's actually the Chemdork Gardens station. So again, the gardens aren't really set up exactly how I want them, but yeah, it's going to be a lot of more fun trees around with a little more theming. But at least in the beginning, this is kind of cool. I kind of like this. It's kind of nice. You go down, and then you go here, and here's the base. It's pretty cool. We got a lot of vines, kind of cool looking atmosphere. I kind of like it. I kind of do. This is Kapok wood, in case you're interested, and this is balsa wood. This is balsa wood trunk, and this is the planks, which is also the same as the floor. So it's pretty cool. All right, yeah, let's, I just wanted to show you this one. Now let's go ahead and check out the pyramid. I think you'll like what we did there. So let's go back to the pyramid. Actually, let's go back to the pyramid later. So here's the forest base. We will be doing some fun stuff here. But let's head back. Let's set up the main station up to that track junction, get that working, and then we will head to the pyramid base and start setting up the Tesseract signaling system. All right, see you in a second. Yep, had to abandon a cart because we don't have this system ready. So it's set back to default, so that's good. Yeah, so I couldn't get back to the main station from the forest station, which is exactly the problem I was discussing. So now let's do this. Let's actually set up this signaling. What I'm going to do is just select one of these lines that I'm going to connect to the track junction. And I'm going to probably connect this first line just because it's easy. And I'll just dig through here until I get to the junction. I mean, it's actually not going to be too far. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll be right back. All right, so see you in a second. Okay, well, it's all done. That didn't take long at all, honestly, because it's not too far. So what's going to happen is, so if you'll notice, this line is going down into that area. So what we need to do then is make sure that the button that takes us to Chemdork Gardens switches that line, because that line will switch this junction from the way it is now to going to the right. So when I head to the forest base, or the Chemdork Gardens base, which is this one, I need it to switch. In order to do that, what I basically do is set a line. Here's the Chemdork Gardens line, so boop, there it is. I don't think that little pulse was enough to switch it. Probably wasn't too long enough. All right, so what this should do is that, what this means is that, and we're going to test it out. Basically what this means is that I'm going to hit that, okay, and I'm going to get rid of this too for now. Basically what this means is that when I push the button for Chemdork Gardens, it should switch this as normal, well, yeah, it should switch this. So let me see what that's going to happen. Hey, look at that. It switches. All right, so let's actually look at the circuitry to see that, and a cart falls. So that's great. So when this torch goes off, when the button gets pushed, this line goes off, this torch goes on, and that line goes on. So that means that this line is on. It goes all the way down here, then over here, then over here, and what do you know? We're already here. And it switches this side of the RS NOR latch on, which means that it's not in the default, because the default is this side of the RS NOR latch. Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna take the cart through this and just complete the test run. So now we have gotten rid of those tracks so that we don't lose a cart again, and we're just gonna see it go. So it's gonna go to the right, and then the default is gonna switch it back to the left. All right. So this works like a charm. Okay, so that's the easy part. That's the super easy part, which is hooking up this track junction to switch when I need it to right now. So the other buttons, so the pyramid base button will basically do nothing. Depending on this base, I might have to switch that junction as well. So we'll see based on that. Otherwise, I could have just hooked this one up directly to the track junction, but you'll kind of see why later when I build more bases onto this, more stations onto this. This decoding system makes it real easy to do so. Okay, so let's head to the pyramid base now and start setting up the Tesseract system. All right. See you there in a minute. Okay, we're coming up to the pyramid base here. Ooh, fancy. It's swanky. It's rather swanky. Ooh, nice. Nice sandstone look to it. I like it. I like the sandstone look, kind of like nice pillars for the entrance. Here's what it's going to look like. I just don't make sure I don't go too far. Pretty cool. All right, so that's nice. It's looking weird in the entrance right here now, but I have this like silly idea that I want to put sandstone all over here, which is kind of very silly. All right. Oh, it's nighttime now. But yeah. So you see, I actually put in the glass pyramid as I was mentioning I would. The upside down glass pyramid here. So there's some weird stuff's happening with the lighting. That's kind of weird. Anyway, that's really weird. What's going on? That's like someone's turning off and on the lights. That's pretty odd. Anyway, Tesseract system. So now let's go set this up again. We're going to have, this was the pyramid base so far, that was the forest, and this is the, well, we'll set up the signs. I'll set up the signs in a second. So let me get my stuff together. I'll be right back. Okay, well, I got the stuff I need. Now let's put in some of the Tesseract system. So remember I said we're using Tesseracts for signaling now. And if you don't remember what I meant by that in the previous episodes, one of them, I forget which one, I went over it, but for now, let's just go back here and do it. So as I go back here and do it, I'll explain what's going on again. So what's happening is that, again, the same thing is happening. There's these two lines down the bottom, except now I have the little alcove that I'm going to set up for the, the Tesseracts I will set up here. And there's going to be a Tesseract for one line to go to one junction, and a Tesseract for another line for the other junction. Now, of course, we only have one junction right now, so we're only going to set up one Tesseract. Makes sense. But we're going to make it so that we can set up another one if we wish. Alright, so I guess I don't necessarily need to put it back this far, but I am. So we're going to do just like we did with the previous guy, which was set up an igneous extruder such that, and let's get it just working right away, so we can have some stuff ready. All right. And so we're going to set it up so that, there we go. Okay, so the top is there. We're going to set up the top to go to, we need a crafting table over here just to make it fun. Let's give myself some of that, and just, whoa. Yeah, I know how to do stuff. Okay, there we go. Here's a chest. That's what I want. Chest goes there, and it starts filling up with cobblestone. That's fantastic. That's fantastic! Okay, so the secret part is going to come in where we have these wooden extracting... Oh! Wooden transport pipes. I totally forgot an item. I'll be right back, guys. I need to get myself some item. Damn it. Be right back. Okay, I'm back, really quick. It's just an old Alt-Archic gate, just a really standard one. Basically, it's going to say, if there is a redstone signal on, do the energy pulsing thing. So that means that every time it gets a signal, it'll pull out some items. And actually, I want it to do a single energy pulse, because I only want it to put out one of these cobblestone items, so I really don't need that many. I was thinking of having other pipes, but I realized that I could just do this really simply. And that is just have a Tesseract, and here's one of them. We'll grab one, we'll smack one down right here, and it will send an item. Now, it'll take 5 seconds to send the signal. Reason being is that it takes 5 seconds for a round for an item to pass through a wooden or any other pipe, like in a standard way. We're going to set this guy up now. So its device is inactive because he's not set to any frequency. I'm going to make a frequency. I'm going to call it... we'll call it Junction 1. I think, wait, this is, yeah, Junction 1. Okay, that's the frequency. We're going to save that frequency as a special named thingy, and we'll set frequency. Now he's running. Okay, so now he's, his configuration, he's going to be item receive mode, send... blocked and blocked for energy and fluid. Doesn't really matter though. And send items only, because he only needs to send items to his other guys. I think that should work fine, and it's enabled. So this should work. Now all we need to do is put in a redstone torch in the proper location. So that's the track junction 1 is the one on the right, and the one on the right needs to be switched for... Okay, so main base, actually no, because by default it's going to be heading to the right when I head to the main base. So actually it needs to be set for Chemdork Gardens, just like before. So I don't know if this is actually going to set an item to go there. We'll see. Don't know if that actually did anything. Oh, it did. Okay, so it sent an item. All right, well that's fine. Oh, I meant to put it on the other side, but it really doesn't matter. That's okay. Okay, so it sent an item, that's fine. Okay, so I'm going to head back, and because that's all we needed to do here, honestly, in order to set this thing up. Now let's set up the track junction itself. Well, actually, no. Let me go back to the forest base, do the same thing, and I'll meet you there. All right, see you in a second. Okay, y'all, now I set up the Tesseract in the forest base exactly the same way, except this time when it's the forest base switches to go back to the main base, which is when I need to switch this track from when it is now to back to this way, that's when it's sending an item to the Tesseract. And it is actually important I have that Tesseract set to send only because they're set to the same frequency, so I need to make sure that items only come into and are received by the Tesseract I'm going to place down here. Now I've made some area over here because we're actually going to need some bit of circuitry, so I'll show you this in a minute. So if I put a Tesseract right here, we're going to put a chest right next to it. And what you find is it's an empty chest right now, but if I set this to junction 1 and it's receive only, yep, and then I say, go ahead and set it, we got items. We got items, yay! So we got items in here. And, oh, wait, I'll be right back. I actually need some things. Hold on, I'll be right back. Just a minute. Okay, now I do believe I have what I need. Okay, so what's going to happen is that the items from this are going to be this chest. The status of items or not in this chest is actually going to dictate what happens. So when there are items in this chest, I will have the AND gate indicate when that's the case. Items in inventory, so when I put a piece of cobble in there, this now is saying yes, and it's going to send out a redstone signal. Now, it's important to note that this redstone signal can only be sent out when it first notices this item in its inventory. So if I just hook this up here, it's actually going to work just fine. So item's going to come into the inventory, it's going to switch the circuit to this side, which means the track is switched, and then I'll go, and then it'll be switched, and that's great. The problem is that this side is now going to be wanting to be switched back. And how that happens is I run over the detector rails, and after a very short delay, it switches back. Now, I think I can time it such that I pull an item out. I'm hoping that's the case. If not, if I can't do that in time, then I'm going to have to switch the timing for this. So it's going to be a little bit perilous. I actually think what I should do is, really quickly, I should do it this way. I should get rid of, I should get rid of the stuff here. I'll just screw it here. Give me that. Get rid of this, and okay. And then what I need to do now, I believe, is set the Tesseract like here instead, where it's not going to be in the way. Yeah, there's good. And then we're going to set this, the chest. I need the chest. Give me that chest. Right here. Okay, and then I need the pipes and stuff. I need a wooden extraction pipe, which I think can be underneath. And, this is going to be difficult, because I don't have the, oh no, I do, I can do this. Oh, and this pipe, right. I'm just going to put the wooden extraction pipe. Boom. Okay, there we go, and then this pipe right here next to it, and it's going to say iron AND gate here, and it's going to be when there's items in the inventory, send out a redstone signal. Okay, so this might actually work, because what I need to do is I need to make sure I send a signal down here to this pipe, when, as soon as I step on the, or as soon as the minecart passes over, it needs to pull out this item and stop the signal from being sent here. That's actually really, really important, because if it doesn't happen that way, then we won't be able to switch this back. So what I mean is that if there's still an item in this inventory, this will still be on. And then it doesn't matter if I do this, it's going to go right back. So if I turn this off, it will switch. So I think this will work, because the timing needs to be at least where it comes off. Yeah, I think this is going to work. So let me set up the the circuit here. So basically I need an alt-archic gate, again, that has, when its red signal is on, just do an energy pulse, pull out whatever items you got in there, and then we're just going to destroy them. Right there. We're just going to set them for destroy. So the cobblestone will just be going away. Now this, remember, this line that we put in here is connected to all of those detector rails. So as soon as I pass over a detector rail, it will pull out the items of this chest. When it does that, it will not switch to the circuit. That only happens after the delay. So it's not like this track is switched only when this circuit is here. It is switched only when this RS NOR latch is switched to this side. So that means that if items go into here, this goes on, it switches on this side, and this will stay on forever until I switch on this side. And this side only gets switched off after I pass over the detector rails, and this goes through a short delay. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't, I'm sorry. I really did my best. No, you know, I actually didn't do my best, I don't think. All right, so just in case, we're going to take out these sections just like before so we don't lose a bunch of minecarts. Like before. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I actually need to set up a test, and I need to set up a test Tesseract just to make it easy. All right, so I'm going to do that. Oh, wait, I'll be right back. We're going to set up a little test system, so I'll be right back. Okay, here's our test system. Oh, you know what? We never actually set up our Tesseract. Huh. At least I don't think we did. Did we set up this one? Yeah, it is. It's receive only. Okay, good. Okay, never mind. Good. Okay, so let's set up our little test system here. It's going to be just real simple. Obsidian pipe, cobblestone pipe, and into another Tesseract. And this is going to be set up as Junction 1, Tesseract, send only. Okay, send only for items, set the frequency. Okay, now it's all set. So when I throw this in here, what should happen is this track junction should now switch to this side after a short period of time. Very short, in fact. And wait, did it send it? Okay. Why isn't it sending? That's interesting. Nothing in here. It's set to receive with that same frequency. Okay, let me try that again. Give me 1 minute. Okay. Give me 1 minute. Sending items. Okay, yeah, that sent it. That's a little weird, huh? Interesting. All right, well let me see. Okay, so now this is sent. This is on. Everything's working okay. Okay, that's interesting. Hope I don't have to send 2 items. Nah, this worked totally before when I was testing it out. So what we're going to do now is basically, we can actually set up Chemdork Gardens. We can just push this one. This one's hooked up to nothing. It'll just give us a minecart. And let's see if it actually works. So this should switch back still. And it does. Good. Okay, so the timing seems to be right. It seems to work out okay. That's great. Actually, that's really great. So let me try this in a real situation then. So let me go over to let's put the tracks back. But let me go from the forest base now and try to get to the main base. Yeah, that'll be a good test. Okay, so I'll meet you at the forest base. Be right there. Okay, guys, before we go on our maiden voyage, I realize there's an issue with this that we need to fix, and I think it's a pretty easy fix. So I noticed the problem here. When you put an item in here, it goes away really quickly, and that doesn't make any sense, does it? Well, it does when you think about it. Look at the setup we have here. We have this, which is a gate that said when there's items in inventory, turn on a redstone signal. There's a redstone right here. And it's still on because this is hooked up to an RS NOR latch, which in this case, this side of it's always on. We have this gate, which says when it receives a redstone signal, do an energy pulsar. And so that's getting a redstone signal from here. However, when this turns on the redstone signal, it's also energizing this block. It doesn't get energized when just this redstone, well, no, it does actually, when this redstone is on. So this should mean that the item should stay now. And voila, it does, because there's no block here. So if there's a block there, that means the redstone current can actually pass through that block and energize the block right below this thing, and then that'll send a signal here. So that's, yeah, I think that's the easy fix. It seems to work now. So for example, when I do this, it should, I think I just saw it go on, and it pulled out. Oh, no, it wasn't quite long enough. I do hope that's going to be a long enough signal for me passing over with a minecart. I think it is. It's a pretty significantly long signal, so I think so. All right, so let's go ahead and test it out. I'll be right back. Meet you at the forest base. Okay, I decided we should test it out. So let's test it out here first again with just an empty cart. What I did is place an item inside that chest. So I'll show you. I put an item inside this chest. If this item goes away, then it will switch like normal. If it doesn't go away, it'll switch and then revert back to this way. So we need to, yeah, we need to make sure it reverts back to default and stays that way. So it reverts back and seems to stay that way. Let's go back down and see. Yep, okay, so it's a long enough time for the cart to pass over, which is long enough for that item to be removed from the chest. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. I'm going to head to the forest base. I will be right back. See you there. Okay, the final test of our minecart system here. Now, let's see if the track junction works. I have every bit of confidence that it will. This main base button initiates an item to be sent through the Tesseract, so we are signaling that that track junction should change, and we'll see soon enough. So I'll see you there at the main base. Okay, we are coming up on the junction. Hopefully we'll see it. Yep, it switched. All right, and it switched back. Awesome. Great. Okay, this stuff works like a charm. Ooh, okay, just a little bit of ironing out to do. Not too bad at all. And I am really happy with this, actually. It's really great when I plan something out and it actually works according to plan. That is something else. Again, kind of annoying that I have to keep setting up these. Okay, I'll get this in the third try. Third time's a oh my godness. Okay, third time's a charm. Well, almost died there. I love these buggy, silly little things here. You know what? Let me just go down this way. This is a cool way to go down. Yay, I'm a minecart. Okay. Yep, so third time's a charm there. But anyway, so yeah, we figured that out. Figured out the system. It's always nice when the systems work exactly as planned, and kind of annoying that I have to put the minecarts in there manually, but like I said, we will change that because I have a plan for how I'm going to address that too. It's episode 40, guys. Remember that this is this was the last episode of season 1, but we are getting farther than that in season 2 and still going strong, in my opinion. Still have a lot of ideas for things to do, and I cannot wait to continue on with our season. And next episode, I do plan on looking into updating to 1.7 of Minecraft, 1.71 I think of Minecraft, and because all the mods are updated for that version too. So it will break my world kind of, like it has in the past. It was, if you recall, updating is what ended Season 1 of my Buildcraft, and it nearly ended Season 2 of my Buildcraft kind of prematurely when the thermal expansion updated to version 3. Luckily, that's not the case. That wasn't the case. I was able to get it fixed, so hopefully it'll be the same this time, but it will be a lot of work to do it. Okay, guys, I think that'll do it for this episode. It's been super fun, and can't wait until the next version the next episode when we look at the next version of Buildcraft and such. Buildcraft 5 has a lot of things brought back that I've missed so much, like the builder, and we're going to have a lot of fun with it. And some of the other mods have updated as well, but mostly it's Buildcraft fun, and we're going to be having huge amounts of fun with that update. Alright guys, see you in the next episode. Thanks for watching, it's been great, and see you next time. I'm going to leave you with a tribute to kind of last season's ending. It's not this season's ending, but it's just sort of a tribute to that tribute. You'll get what I mean. Okay, see you in a second. Or see you next episode. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.